Happy Thursday, you beautiful weirdos. How we doing tonight? Lots to talk about, lots to do. So let's do this thingy.
Ladies and gentlemen, get hyped. The Fanatic Zone is now live.
Let's get this party started.
Enter the lead, weirdo.
You know who?
Demand food.
And away we
Lady
go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, weirdos of all ages, leave the board at the door and bring the hype once more. Glad to have you all back aboard the hype train as we crank it up yet again. Good evening, Serene. Serene, I'm sorry, I'll tell you like I tell Sinister. If you start your intro while I'm in the middle of my spiel, it's going to get overwritten because I just keep going. But good evening, ma'am. Hope you're doing well. DJ, what's going on? How are you? Tridine in the house. All of our beautiful lurkers. Thank you, one and all. Fame Seeker, Naughty Innocence. Good to have you all here, folks. No, you're good. I don't mind. I just didn't want you to. Yeah, I just want y'all to know, like, if you. That's the one thing that's not negotiable. When I start my intro, I'm gonna go until I get it done. So if something plays, it's just gonna have to play it underneath what I'm saying. It's all good though. All good. DJ, thank you for the lick. Appreciate that. Serene, thank you for the lick on YouTube. Let me get. I think we have. Yep, let's do this. Let's pay out some weirdos real quick. DJ Wolf Dude was our first lick on YouTube tonight. Thank you. Serene, thank you so much. Appreciate that. The weirdos. And then we've got Vorshin with the retweet. Vorshin, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well tonight. Draxith with the like and the retweet. Thank you, Draxith. 50 weirdos. He don't mind as we don't matter. Oh no, that's not true, Vorshin. That's not true. You guys matter. Tridine, thank you for the lick. And look at the food. Keeping an eye on the live chat tonight. Man, the stars are aligning, huh? I tell you what, all is right in the world, or at least for our little corner of the world. But yes, indeed, good to be here. Hope everybody is doing well. Had a good Thursday. Our final stream of the night. Still no Golden Kappa. What's going on with that, man? Where's the Golden Kappa? I swear. But yeah, we've got some interesting things going on tonight. First of all, you'll notice we started off with a little as under the category of talk shows and podcasts, because we're going to have a little talk, and I'm going to watch either Rax or Riker's reaction or analysis of the big changes coming to Diablo 4. Apparently they made their big announcement today. So it's pretty fascinating We'll have to see. I see Riker. I see Rax did a review. Let's see if Riker has one. Oh yeah, he did, but his is like reacting to the whole. Wait. Oh, it's a sit-down interview. That could be interesting. Maybe we'll look at that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll start with Rax's interview, or Rax's video first, and then we'll see what we decide to do. But some big stuff coming, some big changes happening. I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't read the change, not the change log, but I haven't read the announcement post they put. Oh, thank you, Voltan. Appreciate that. Let's take care of you. So I wanted to wait and watch and do a react with you guys, so you guys can see my reaction live. Apparently, this is the big, supposedly, tempering and masterworking changes that are coming, and we'll see if they announce anything else. Oh, no worries, no worries. I was actually thinking about watching that, but I see it's like an hour and a half coming. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, exactly. I'm planning on watching Rax's evaluation of it, and then maybe we'll watch Riker's, but it's an hour and a half long, so we'll see. We'll see. But I definitely want to watch Rax's summation of it and see what we got. I'm very curious. We'll see what happens. Major changes coming. And then if we have time after, we'll do some Mega Bonk. But the main priority tonight, at least to start, is to kind of chat and chill with you guys and talk about the changes and see. Right. His is different. It's talking about tempering. Yeah, I have it up right here. Sanctification, monster combat, defense changes, bunch of stuff. He's got it all laid out, so we may watch that. We'll see. I'm very curious for sure. How is everybody doing today, man? Anything interesting happening in the world of the weirdos? But yeah. So let's get in and dive into it and see. Like I said, we'll start with Rax first, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Yep, got that. Hey, Cockleton, thank you for the like on YouTube, buddy. Appreciate that. And the retweet. Let's take care of you. Kakotan, thank you, buddy. And Fujikon. Fuji, thank you so much for the like on YouTube, the lick on YouTube. Appreciate it. Take care of that. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, because of the delayed thing we had, yeah. It is. Yeah. Because of how me being sick and everything kind of threw it off. But yeah, in a couple of weeks. I don't know. Let's see. Actually, no. It's going to be, it works out actually, Vorshin, because it's actually going to be on the 7th and 8th of October. Remember, if the subathon falls on the 1st, then it gets pushed back to the following week. It just so happens the 1st of the month is a Saturday. So it will be the 7th and 8th. So it will be, yeah, the 7th and 8th of November. So not next weekend, not the weekend after that, but 3 Fridays from tomorrow. So it's not as close as we thought it was going to be, but it worked out. 3 Fridays from tomorrow will be the subathon. Yeah, because it falls on the 1st. Went to my 2-week follow-up post-surgery, and Doc took one look at me and asked, "How have you been sleeping?" Apparently, didn't like my answer next week or the week after because I'm now going to be staring at my apartment walls for another 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, Serene, that's not good. Oh, sorry. Man, yeah, I know part of the problem. I know this is not all of it, but I remember the other night you talking about the fireworks going off that really messed you up. So that was one night lost, you know. Oh man. I hope they're not trying to make you do any work from home. I hope you're actually able to relax and rest and not stress yourself over work. Um, oh, you're going to be out of town on the 1st. Okay, well that worked out then because we'll be here on the 7th. All right. So let's yeah, I kind of want to dive into this and see what's up. Keeps the streak alive. That's right. That's right. All right. So if you're just joining us, we're going to start off with something a little bit different tonight. I want to check out the big changes coming to Diablo 4. So we're going to watch. I'm going to do a react to Rax's react. Or he's not reacting. He's basically just summarizing it and analyzing it. So I'll react to what he has to say because I haven't seen this yet. Let me move my camera so we can... All right. There we go. Important files. Oh my goodness. All right.
Hi everyone, it's Rax.
Hi Rax, it's
Blizzard
everyone.
has a big campfire today to announce their new season, but they already posted the blog of everything that's coming out, so, well, we're going to get this information to you even faster than we initially expected. This is going to be the first season that was off of their roadmap. You know, it was powers, and they said that they've been building up to something. And this season, if you compare to what they've done in the previous seasons, is far more massive. That's what she said. So let's check it out.
All right. So that's interesting. Rax doesn't say those kind of things lightly because he's pretty fed up at this point.
The PTR for it starts on October 21st. And
Wait,
we'll definitely...
October 21st. That's right around the corner, guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all right.
be playing this one because it looks like Diablo 4 may actually start to be changing. Let's go through all the things here. So they already mentioned that tempering and masterworking are going to be redone. These are two of the most hated things in the game.
Yeah.
So for tempering, you can just select which
I wouldn't say it's hated. I think the issue for me with tempering and mastering, it just feels bland. It's just bland power increase. You know, I think that's the thing for me. You know, it makes a difference. You have to have it in the current iteration of the game, otherwise you won't progress. But it just feels bland. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Affix you want to apply to your item. You don't have to have it randomly applied, and items can now only have one tempered affix.
Okay, you can now select which specific affix you want to apply from your tempering recipe. No longer you have to have it random. Oh, interesting. Items can now only have one tempered affix as opposed to 2 randomly applied. While tempering charges can be restored indefinitely. Okay. Huh. All right.
So I'm sure this is going to be better than what they previously had, of course. In general, just slapping on the thing that you want, that's also, I don't know how creative that is in and of itself, but certainly better than what they had. So masterworking no longer increases your item's affix values. Instead, it improves the quality of the base damage, armor, or resistance. You masterwork something up to a quality of 20, and then when it's at maximum quality, you roll it one last time.
Wow. Congratulations, Kakotan. Nicely done, buddy. Okay, let me take a look at this. Masterworking no longer increases your item affix value. Instead, it improves the quality of an item, which gives a bonus to the base damage, armor, or resistance of an item. Items can be masterworked to a maximum quality threshold of 20. Once at max quality, you can roll it one last time for a capstone bonus.
time for a capstone bonus. This bonus upgrades a random non-greater affix on your item to a greater affix, then you can choose to re-roll it. Again, we'll have to see how it goes. Probably better than the other masterworking thing that they had. It looks just like, yeah, like exactly.
I can see it now. I'm going to want to watch Riker's video because they may give more insight than just what they have on their page here. But I agree with Rax. It's hard to... anything's better, right? But we'll have to see if this actually... We'll have to see if this actually makes a difference. It's hard to tell from their explanation how this is going to actually affect gameplay. I think that's the takeaway for that so far. Increasing the amount of base affixes found on a non-unique item from 3 to 4. That'll make every item stronger.
Exactly as they've explained it here. It sounds like a quality system, and then you just, whichever greater affix on your item, you know, maybe you had a stat on there that you really cared about, but you got a greater affix on something else. Now you can make it a greater affix. I wonder if it does anything else other than this, but we'll have to see. This seems very, very deterministic. It seems like with tempering and masterworking now, you can essentially just get what you want very...
Okay, yeah, so let's do that then. Yeah, if he's just going over patch notes and we don't really have all of the all right, let me see. Let me find...
Some devs from the Diablo 4 team here with us to talk about all this and answer our questions. But first, a quick round of introductions.
Well, hey everybody, my name is Owen Leach. I'm the Seasons Lead on Season 11, and I'm also the lead encounter designer on Diablo 4.
Hey guys, I'm Aislinn Hall. I'm a systems designer on Diablo 4, working specifically on the final design team, and I typically work on Seasons.
Hey everybody, I'm Art Peshkov. I'm the lead systems designer on Diablo 4.
And if anyone finds Art Peshkov's name familiar, where are my D3 players at? Because the Eye of Peshkov monk item that was named after you. You've been on Team 3 quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Way back, way back. All right, folks, and right after this video finishes, you can go ask your questions to these 3 individuals. They'll be on the Sanctuary Discord, again, to answer any follow-up questions as soon as this is no longer live. And right now, folks, you can be farming Twitch drops until October 17th at 11 a.m. PDT by watching 30 minutes of anyone live streaming in the Diablo 4 category on twitch.tv. So now, right off the bat, tempering. This has been a hot topic in the community for quite a while.
What they say about tempering.
People, I've mentioned it a couple times in my videos. The topic of bricking items and resetting tempering. So, what is the good word on tempering?
Oh, I mean, I've been right there with you, sitting there bricking my 3 GAs and crying in town. Well, I guess the the good news is that you're no longer going to be able to brick your items with tempering, right? The kind of the big change that we'd like to highlight is that tempering.
Thank you. We can no longer brick our items. That's, oh my goodness, yes.
Recipes no longer roll from a pool of affixes. You get to just directly pick the affix that you want. It's still going to roll within a range, but yeah, you just get to deterministically pick whatever affix you want, put it on your item. To account for this kind of increase in determinism, we're lowering the max number of tempered affixes from 2 to 1. But we're also removing the limit on resetting tempers. So currently you can only do it once, but you'll be able to reset as many times as you want. And to account for the fact that we've removed a tempering affix, we're adding 1 more base affix back to non-unique items into the pool. So you're not down in affix in terms of raw item power.
There you go. So right off the bat, this is, I'm sure you've just made a lot of people very, very happy. And alongside this, right, masterworking, people were been complaining about having to reset at 12 and the cost of, they're trying to get their triple crits. We got a huge overhaul to masterworking. It is.
Okay, before they move on into masterworking, yeah, that's huge, right? Not only worrying about bricking our item, but getting something on there Like, I'm trying to roll, let's say, earthquake damage. That's really important for my build. Or dust devil damage. And instead I get damage while berserk, which doesn't do near as much for my, just as an example, right? And then we're out of tempers and we're stuck and we're like, okay, well, there goes a good item. I could use a scroll that I get from the Infernal Hordes, but those are limited. And do I really want to waste that on a mid-tier item? So that's good. All right, let's see what they say about masterworking now.
Basically just masterworking in name only now. How does masterworking work as of Season 11?
Right. So yeah, we've completely redone the way masterworking works. At a high level, masterworking is no longer going to increase an item's affix values, and the 12 discrete stages are gone. So like no more 5% to all affixes, 25% to one affix stuff. That's completely gone. Instead, you can kind of conceptualize masterworking in 3 different stages. The first stage is the quality stage. When you masterwork an item, you're going to apply a new stat to it called quality. You're going to apply a random amount every time you masterwork. And what quality does is it just gives a multiplicative bonus to the base stat of an item. So for weapons, it's the damage. For armor, it's the armor. And for jewelry, it's the resist all.
Okay, so that's interesting. Instead of every affix going up 5% and then every 4 rolls something goes up 25%, now it's only going to upgrade whatever the base stat on the item is. So like you said, for example, you think of whatever stat would be on that item if it were just a white item with no affixes, right? For armor, that'll be armor. For weapons, it'll be your damage, and for jewelry, it'll be your resists. Okay, well, let's see what else they have in store, though.
Items can be masterworked up to a maximum quality threshold, which is 20%. And once you've hit that 20% quality, you're done with this part of masterworking. So as an example, if you have a 1000 DPS weapon, you quality it all the way up to max, you'll have a 1200 DPS weapon.
That reminds me a little bit. You know what that reminds me of? Applying a gem cutter's prism to a flask, or in PoE. Or, like the blacksmith whetstones to a weapon, you upgrade to quality 20. That's basically this. That's what that is.
Once you're done with that, you can masterwork your item one more time, and we like to call this the masterworking capstone. And what this does is it just GAs a non-GA affix on your item, right? And this can hit tempered affixes too, by the way, so your weapon tempers,
Oh.
And once you've done this masterworking capstone, we allow you to re-roll the specific affix that was GA'd for a cost, of course, but you're able to re-roll the masterworked GA without resetting the quality level back to 0.
Oh, nice.
So all we're doing is now resetting the capstone as opposed to having to build it all the way back up. Masterwork 1, 2, 3, 4. Pray to get the 3
right,
on
yeah,
the right affix.
Yeah, no more waiting for the cosmos to align and being like 750,000 gold or million gold down and not getting what you want.
So the cost of trying again on that capstone, roughly how is that going to compare to the cost of resetting your 12 rank masterwork? Is it going to be more or less, about the same?
Well, it's going to be significantly easier. Like we're still kind of landing on the final cost, but in terms of
that's probably something they're still trying to debate on, right? I mean, that's one of the toughest things in these kind of games is figuring out economy, basically.
Probability, right? If you think about the old system, if you're masterworking a legendary item, you have a 20% chance to get the affix that you want, and you have to do this 3 times, right? So I think it's a 25 masterwork resets on average to get a double crit, and 125 to get a triple crit, right? With the new system, hitting the affix that you want is significantly easier, right? So if you take a 1 GA item in the new system, right, and you trying to masterwork it, you have a 1 out of 4 chance of hitting the affix that you want. So statistically, like you're gonna get it. You have a 99% chance of getting it within like 10 or 11 resets.
Okay, that's pretty.
It's
cool.
gonna be much easier. The other cool thing about this system is that
something that I want to put out there before we continue, and the one thing that concerns me about them simplifying the masterworking and tempering, and I guess it's not a big deal because we didn't have this. They don't have this current concern. What I'm about to tell you, we don't have this really in the current game anyway. But item chase. We need an item chase. Now, granted, I know you have mythic items, but it feels like it's just not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they handle the item chase. You know, how you handle trying to chase that perfectly rolled item or whatever. And while it shouldn't be impossible to get, it should still feel rewarding. You know, so that's a tough thing.
The better quality your item is, the easier it is to do this, right? Because if you go in there with a 1 GA, it's a 1 out of 4. But if you go in there with a 3 GA, it's only 1 out of 2.
Bingo. Awesome. Awesome. Now, prior to Season 4 and the introduction of masterworking and tempering, we did have a crafting system that I think operated kind of similar, at least prior to the capstone, where I think we were like 10 discrete steps of, was it increasing item power, I believe, or item level?
Yeah, there's some similarities to the old system. You're right in that you were able to upgrade it. I can't remember how many discrete steps, was it 5 or 10? But it would increase the item power, which had some other kind of side effects in our system, right, in terms of scaling affix values. And it was really kind of an enclosed system. This kind of is a much more elegant version. You know, we think quality is really cool, and we might find other applications for it in the future as well.
That quality is
Yeah, I
interesting.
think
I
it's
like that
also like
idea.
a system with a much longer possibility space of, or like being able to make an item even cooler and stronger than before, certainly with the system that existed before Season of Blue Reborn. So you'll have way more space to like turn an item into something so much more powerful than what it was. So yeah.
All right. Now, again, tempering, masterworking, these have been topics that the community has been discussing for, you know, a year plus, and something that you folks keep, you know, reiterating in the dev streams is, you know, feedback. We're listening to feedback. And for those paying attention and following along, we do see, you know, 6 months or 12 months later, feedback does get implemented. But to some people, it might give the perception of, oh, well, they're not actually listening to feedback. Why do we feel it could be so long between feedback and implementation or acting from your part?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it really just comes down to the fact that we want to be really sure that we're making the right changes. We don't want to be making like, you know, quick fixes or.
That's the thing right there. You got to be careful not to be just overreactive and just be over pleasing to the community, and then giving the community what they want, and it ends up being a tough one, you know, a bad change. Yeah, I mean, Riker's asking some good questions. He's not just like sugarcoating it, you know, like, all right. I want to go. Let's kind of move on though. Let's see what he says about this sanctification. What is this?
Now, that's not the only crafting things happening. For Season 11 specifically, we got a new crafting mechanic, sanctification. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sanctification is really cool. So ultimately, sanctification is kind of like your last big swing at making your item super cool. It sits at the very end of the item journey, and really, you kind of get one shot to make your item as awesome as possible. There's a lot of variance in the system, but once.
So maybe this is the loot chase, the item chase, and this could also. Okay, we'll see what he has to say. I guess I should let him talk, but it makes me wonder if this is where, like Fameseeker said, this is where we're going to get the item bricking.
Once you sanctify your item, you get one of a number of random things that can happen to it, and then that item is done. Like, you can't modify it any further at all. You can't enchant it, you can't temper it, you can't masterwork it. The only thing that we're going to let you do is swap out the socketables in a sanctified item.
What happened? I don't know what it says sanctified, but what did it do? Well, I guess he's going to tell us.
But sanctification properties can be very, very, very powerful.
So this is sort of like, it's a one-time slam. You're gambling to complete this item, and you're hoping for one of those multiple outcomes. What are some of the most exciting outcomes that people can get?
Oh man, well I think the grand prize is you can get an additional legendary power on your item, and yeah, I mean, this can be a legendary, this could be a unique, or this could be a mythic, right? Like, you could get some pretty insane outcomes in that regard. Oh, I see.
So you can get, so like this is a sanctified affix, right? And this is, and this is. That's, I guess my eyes glossed over it because, yeah, I see the wings. Those are greater affixes. Yeah, but where's, what? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I didn't see it at first. There it is. They got 6.5% multiplicative lightning damage here. I see. Oh yeah, so he got a second legendary effect right here and here. Oh, I see. Thank you for pointing that out. I was trying to see where it was at. Wow, I see what he's saying now by the multiple legendary affixes you could potentially get. That's really cool.
There's a bunch of other really cool stuff, but I'll highlight an example from a recent playthrough that I had. I was playing a Hydrasork, and I slammed an amulet, and I got Orange Herald on it. So I was like, oh, okay, this is great. This is like utterly amazing. And I used it for the next like 30 levels. So
Awesome. And to sanctify, we're going to be using a resource called Heavenly Sigils. Is that right?
Heavenly
right.
Sigils.
So Heavenly Sigils are used to sanctify endgame items, as I Power 750 is an Ancestrals. Pre-Torment, there will be a slightly different loop where you earn a chance to sanctify your items when you complete activities. But once you're in Torment, you'll earn these sigils, which you will be able to kind of bank up and use whenever you want to sanctify stuff whenever you want.
So this is a consumable item, and do we get it via a drop? Are we earning it via an activity?
Both. Well, it's used as a crafting currency. You can also use it in your inventory to teleport to the place where you do sanctification. It's a little quality of life thing.
Oh,
But yeah,
nice.
you're earning it as a material. There are a few guaranteed sources of heavenly sigils. I think they are Bartok, Giga Belial, the ultimate layer boss Belial.
So the high end content. So it's probably gonna be rare to get those things, but I'm guessing you can drop them just about anywhere. Just much rarer.
And then Astaroth. We also have a few chance-based sources, including the Belial Ambush and the Seasonal Pit Belial. I think there's a low chance to drop off of Elites and Nightmare Dungeon bosses.
Okay, well that's good.
So we're going to be a lot more powerful in Season 11 thanks to the new sanctification crafting system, but the game is also getting more challenging via an overhaul to monster combat. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're calling it Evolve Monster Combat, and at its core is we're taking a look holistic.
Come in. Give me just a second, guys. All right, sorry about that. Boss Fu brought me some coffee. So, all right. See.
At the monsters in our game, and seeing that, from where we started in base game to where we are now, monsters really haven't changed that much. So it's about bringing our monsters up to speed with the speed of the player, and changing a lot about each of our individual monsters, but focusing on hit reliability and overall pacing in general of base combat. So that comes from improved monster AI. It comes to more distinct roles for our monsters. Their ability to hit you is a lot more reliable. Like, they turn to face you more. It's harder to dodge. You can't just run through mobs and survive anymore. Getting surrounded has meaning. And then we're also doing a lot of work around monster rarities. So, our base monster rarities, you got your normal monsters, then we have minions, champions, and elites, and then there's a couple other super elites, unique elites, but those are the ones we're focusing on. So elites previously were kind of a slightly harder unit. They had a few affixes on them, and maybe when you fought them, you took notice. Maybe you just kind of wiped them off the face of the planet and didn't even notice. But now we're boosting the difficulty of those encounters fairly considerably. So before, you might have a single monster show up, or single...
You know what that means. And I'm fine with it if it makes it a more engaging game, but it doesn't make it doesn't feel like you're bashing your head against the wall. But people are going to complain, because I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to slow down the pace of combat. People have gotten used to Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 being a blasters game. I'll be curious to see how this combat feels when they are more challenging. You have to be more tactical. We'll see. I'm fine with the idea if it works in principle. We'll see.
Elite, maybe 2 elites show up at a given time, and they've got 2-3 affixes on them. But now what happens is when an elite rolls, you'll get one large monster, the elite, and he will spawn with 5 minions.
Like in Diablo 3.
Share affixes. So you'll have a pack of 6 monsters throwing mortar at you, throwing frozen at you, throwing all sorts of affixes at the same time. So that's going to represent a meaningful increase in difficulty, and with that, we're also going to sort of adjust the pacing a little bit. So you're not going to run into elite back to back to back to back, because that would just make the whole game harder. But it's about creating a meaningful spike in difficulty that gets you out of your chair and take notice, right? So you don't sort of just space out and smoke everything. So harder elite encounters, but less often, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. So, I mean, currently we kind of play the game on 2 speeds. There's speed farming, which at endgame, where there's speed farming where we're mowing through things. Then there's like kind of pit pushing where we're testing our metal and the combat does slow down. Do you anticipate we're going to feel, or is the design intent for us to feel these changes just like when we're pit pushing, or also just when we're speed farming?
I think, since we touched every single monster and all their behaviors are different, you will feel them everywhere. I think we made meaningful
changes. They've adjusted every single monster, not just the elite. Sounds like the regular enemies are going to be a little bit different too.
Changes to a lot of different monster families. To quote Art, this is Diablo, and you can outmath monsters, so you can be strong enough. If you're 2 difficulties higher than you or lower than you probably should be, you're just gonna wipe the screen, and that's fine. That's part of the fun, right? You got your character that strong. But yeah, when you're pushing and you don't have that, you will 100% feel it. So I would say it's unavoidable. No matter what, you're gonna run into this, and hopefully it'll make combat more fun for everybody.
And the AI and behavioral changes to the monsters, is that something that ramps up with difficulty, or are we feeling it from level 1?
You will feel the sort of more intelligence in their behavior from level 1, but there are certain aspects of monsters that will increase as Torment goes up. Things like move speed, attack speed, their ability to target you intelligently, like with their aiming and things like that. They're all based on a system that increases as difficulty tiers go up. But the baseline behaviors of like, oh, okay, they know not to group up, they know to flank you, they know to spread out. Like that's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
And speaking about the champions and elites specifically, if you can give some measure to like how much more challenging there are, like by some factor compared to how they've been.
Oh boy.
Sure. It's hard to quantify because it varies greatly depending on the difficulty that you're at. We want to increase the difficulty for higher world tiers because that's, the players who are very skilled at the game and have been practicing that sort of thing, but we don't really want to push it that much higher for the new players. So I wouldn't consider it exponentially more difficult or anything like that on normal, intentionally so. But as you get going, when you would fight 1 elite, now you're fighting 6 things with affixes. I don't want to say it's 6 times more difficult or anything like that, but somewhere in the 3 to 4 times more difficult range, just based on the number of elites or monsters with affixes.
Combat's going to be slower. It's going to be slower, but how do they adjust loot drops and everything that goes along with that, I guess, is the question.
That show up. Not only that, but we're also increasing the number of affixes that roll on minions and elites as the world tiers go up. So when you get to Torment 1, an elite will have 4 affixes, where previously they might have only had 3, and minions can possibly roll up to 4 if you get really unlucky. Certain affixes do get inherited, some do not, just because the nature of certain affixes are much louder. Like you wouldn't want, I don't know, 6 things casting Orbiter. That means nothing because nobody's seen Orbiter, but it's a new affix that's really exciting.
New affix.
So yeah,
all right.
It'll definitely ramp and get much more difficult in the higher difficulty tiers, but still be manageable in the lower difficulty tiers.
Yeah, so I think the difficulty of any individual group of elites you run across is gonna vary depending on the combinatorics of what your build is exceptionally good at dealing with. And
yeah, see, I think that's an important point, Fame Seeker, that you bring it up. There has to be a reason for you to want to keep playing, and it's got to feel gratifying ultimately. I know that's simplifying it, but it's like if I'm chasing pit levels just to do it. Now, granted, it's tied into your glyph levels, so you got to do it for power. But I mean, other than that, like there's the okay, I want to beat Uber Lilith or whatever. You know, it's just an inherent, internal goal. This goes back to something that we've asked for a while, and that's leaderboards. Some kind of meaningful leaderboards. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they say. But I think if you give that, like even in Diablo 3, granted it was monotonous, but at least you had leaderboards. It was something that you could aim for, right? You could test yourself out against. That's what's missing in Diablo 4 right now. We'll see. They tried to add that, and it didn't go over well, but I don't know. Let me let them talk, and we'll see what they say.
They roll, and
but that's a good point,
Fame. You're probably come across a group, and they're going to have a combination that just destroys you, and you're going to be super surprised, or maybe you won't. Maybe you've seen it before, and you're ready for it, and that's where part of the mastery comes in.
Yeah, and I think what Aislinn is hitting on is one of our philosophies going into Evolved Monster Combat was creating memorable moments. So I was playing through Season 11 the other day, just testing out the PTR build, and I was running through Helltide, and I turned the corner, and there was an elite giant maggot who's a new monster in Season 11, and he had 5 giant maggot minions. And they just beat the bejesus out of me. So I was just getting my ass kicked, and I'm like, no, F this, I'm out. And I start running, and then Vortex, one of the elite affixes, just sucked me right back into him. And I'm like, oh my God. And like that, it's funny. It's this small moment, but it was like so memorable to me. And I was like, I got on chat and just bragged to the designers about how great a job they did making that. It was just a really cool thing. So that's what we're kind of hoping for folks, is to create, with all these crazy random elements that can roll, sometimes you're going to get one that's like, holy crap, that just happened. And I think that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
I think one of the key takeaways here is that this is an increase in difficulty that is not just bigger numbers. It's not that they just have
that's
they do
the
more
key,
damage,
right?
More life. It is the affixes. It is the AI.
There are memorable encounters.
Name dropped a couple of new affixes. How many new monster affixes roughly are we getting?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite things being encounter lead is we haven't added monster affixes at all until this point, and we're adding 20 plus. I think we're going into PTR with 25 new monster affixes.
25 new monster affixes. Holy cow, that is insane, guys.
Affixes. Some are totally new, you never seen them before, and some are inspired by the D3 ones.
That's
you
a
might
lot.
know and love. So seeing some of your returning favorites come back should hopefully be fun for fans of those games.
Fantastic.
I've definitely been melted by fire chains.
Fire chains is another one. Lifelink is another D3 one. There's a couple.
Lifelink.
Fire chains. My nemesis. Sorry, I'm just getting flashbacks.
Now, speaking of affixes, do you guys have opinions on like damage reduction affixes?
Sure. So, the champions in pre-season 11, as you probably remember, had the damage resist aura. So if you're not familiar with that, folks, it's the big glowing purple aura around the dude.
Yeah.
And it provides DR to everybody around it. We actually took that out entirely. Champions don't do that anymore.
Okay,
and
good.
I'll talk about Well, we'll talk about what they are now, and then I'll talk about why we took it out. So what they are now is they will spawn in packs. So you'll get packs of champions, either 3 or 5, and they will have their own monster affixes as well. So they'll pull from that same pool that elites pull from, except they'll also have affixes that are specific to champions. Lifelink is one. Again, that's a D3 one if you remember. Fire Chains is one. We have one called Vengeance, where if you kill one member, the rest get stronger. So they'll have their own unique behaviors, and they'll fill their own unique combat role. They're gonna probably be equally difficult to elites. That's sort of our target. It'll just be a different flavor of combat. So instead of like a single targeting thing or managing a group, it's just now it's group
tire
stuff.
change.
So now to the previous part. How do I feel about damage resist? We took it out. We took it out specifically because the champion aura was fundamentally a single targeting check, and that's not how most people play Diablo. We don't often do single target builds. A lot of people just dump a bunch of AoEs. So when you're just dumping a bunch of AoEs, that doesn't actually create any sort of meaningful combat. It doesn't change up your behavior in any way. It's just this fight lasts slightly longer, and that's not something that we find value in, right? So we'd rather have you be challenged in a fun,
I'm glad to hear him
way,
say that.
To dodge or whatever. But that's kind of why we took it out, and I don't know many people will miss it.
No, probably not.
Awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. Now, we're also getting, well, I don't know if this is going to be more difficult or less difficult, and I think we're going to need help understanding exactly the significance of this change, but we're getting massive changes to defenses.
Oh,
right?
Interesting. Okay.
Right, yeah. We're kind of really, with the increased power you'll be able to get through the new crafting system and the increased challenges that you'll be taking on with the harder monsters, we really wanted to kind of evaluate the state of like player defenses and healing and player damage reduction. Because really, if you think about it, like there's a pretty huge disparity in effective HP when you look across builds, right? Like some builds will have like 10k HP and then they proc their stuff and they go up to 200,000. It's wild. And this creates a lot of difficulty in kind of tuning the game up to be more difficult as you progress, and it also creates a lot of confusion for the player into understanding like how did all these layers of defenses actually work, like how tanky am I, ?
Right.
So we've reworked a couple things. Starting at the top, we're changing armor and resistance to be rating systems, which means that you can continue to invest in these for more and more damage reduction, but they have diminishing returns.
I like that. I like that idea. Right now, it's just really bland. It's like get to 1,000 armor, 75% resist, and then just go about your day. I kind of like the idea of the armor and resist rating. We'll see how it's implemented, but okay.
We're also changing armor from being a source of physical damage reduction to being a layer of all damage reduction.
That's the way it is in Diablo 3.
Against the physical damage type, it's against all damage types.
Yeah.
To pair with that change, we're adding a new resistance type called physical resistance, right? So you'll go from having 5 elemental resistances to now having 6 resistances with physical resist. And the kind of end goal here is that armor and resistance are your 2 primary defensive layers that you're kind of balancing against. The other thing that we've done is we've really evaluated the use of all of the various damage reduction affixes, right? There's unconditional damage reduction. There's like 20,000 flavors of conditional damage reduction. We found that this leads to a really inconsistent experience. Like, your buffs will fall off in mid pack, or you're going from pack to pack and suddenly you're like 7 times less tanky and you get one tapped, right? It just feels really bad. So we're really trying to kind of make defenses a lot more predictable and understandable. Largely, we've removed a lot of conditional DRs and made them non-conditional. So your defenses will be much more predictable. To kind of help the player understand all this, we've introduced a new thing on the character sheet called.
I don't know. It's a long. I want to see this, but it's a long video, and I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch me watching the. Let's see season theme. Let's go see what he says about season theme.
All right, now, Sanctification is not the only thing coming with Season 11. Now, previously, in a past season, we saw the return of Belial And now you guys are doing us not just one better, not just two better. We are seeing the return of Belial, the return of Duriel, the return of Andariel.
Oh my
and
goodness.
In fact, all 4 lesser evils, lore nerds know who the 4th one is. We are seeing the return of, triumphantly from Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Who's coming back?
Asmodan, right?
Asmodan.
Act 2,
Asmodunk.
right?
Asmodunk.
No, Act 3. The Act
Dunking
3
in.
boss, Asmodan.
So,
I
what
think.
does it mean for the lesser evils to be invading Sanctuary?
Yeah, so the Lesser Evils are teaming up. Ultimate Bad Guy team up, and they're taking over Sanctuary. And what that means is each Lesser Evil is actually invading a different player activity. So to run it through, Andariel is taking over the Kurast Undercity. Belial is taking over the Pit. Duriel is taking over Helltide. Don't worry, it's the same color. And then Asmodan is a new world boss who's taking over the Overland.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
there'll be a
that's
boss
our
in
first
each
new
different
world boss is
game
Asmodan,
mode.
since launch, right? So we're really excited about that. And once you see him, it's gonna blow your mind. He looks so good, and
Oh my goodness, we're gonna get to see Asmodan back.
he fits so well as a world boss, just in his scale and his attacks, and I'm really excited for that. So I could dive more deep into each of those activities if you like, but the general gist of it is they are going to provide a new, interesting twist on the activity that you know. It's not going to fundamentally change it. The pit is still going to be the pit, but new things are going to happen. Belial will show up and throw attacks at you. Certain monsters in each activity are going to be infected with new affixes. So Belial's is
Okay.
the illusion affix, if you remember that one from D3, where it creates a bunch of clones of a monster, right? And then you'll have a chance to fight Belial as the boss of the pit instead of the regular old rotation of bosses.
That would be
And that's the
cool.
same for every activity. So Duriel is
Oh
going
my
to replace
goodness.
the Helltide Succubus boss, and Dariel is going to replace the Undercity bosses, Longtooth, and all the different ones we have there. And then Asmodan, like I said, will be that world boss.
And Asmodan being a world boss, that is going to be permanent, or that's just for the season?
So there's 2 flavors of that. Him as a world
So
boss
far, so good, Cockatown. I like what this, and we'll see what else
in the
they
rotation
say.
of world
But yeah,
bosses is permanent, so he will always be a world boss going forward.
Oh,
There is
cool.
a separate seasonal event that is happening where he is actually going to take over an event, the World Boss Arena in Hawazar, and he will be kind of like an open world layer boss that you can fight with friends, if that makes sense. So how it actually works is you'll show up and there'll be sort of a ritual that you can take part in, and there will be 3 different altars, one for Andariel, one for Duriel, one for Belial. And depending on which one you choose, or whoever decides to choose, that will summon hordes of enemies in theme with that lesser evil. So let's say I pick Duriel. Sure. Maggots will start pouring out. We'll have zombies and this sort of thing. It's a giant wave event.
Nice.
And then after that giant wave event, Asmodan will show up, and he will be sort of influenced by Belial. So you'll fight Asmodan World Boss, but you'll also have a second layer of difficulty where you'll start seeing sort of Duriel's attacks. I think I just said Belial accent, but Duriel's attacks. So you'll start seeing Pangs of Duriel show up, or a bunch of poison meteors, stuff like that. And then when you kill him, this is kind of where it feels like a layer boss. We're going to spawn 3 different chests, and if you collect enough of what we're calling corrupted essences, which have a bunch of different uses in the season, you can cash that resource in to open a chest related to whichever lesser evil that you choose. So if you
cool.
open, let's say, Andariel's chest, you'll have a chance to roll the uniques from
The uniques
Andariel's
from her.
boss ladder fight.
Oh, that's
the-
cool.
The layer fight, excuse me.
I like that.
You'll also get the resources that are associated with her in Season 11. Let me pull up which Andariel. I think she's... I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget. She's Obols and Mats, and those tie into the seasonal gifts.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be this fun 2 ways you can interact with it. The World Boss, and then the sort of recurring event in the Hawazar World Boss Arena that you can farm for all sorts of fun loot.
And you mentioned farming him with friends, so this is going to be a private instance, or is this something that like other people in the world will be alerted to?
It'll be open for everybody. Yep. So it'll always be up, and you can always run there and take part and fight. It won't be on a rotation or anything like that. It'll just be there for you to fight.
So a little bit like the
Nice.
Blood Maiden, where it's like if you don't have, if you don't have the materials and the end to open the chest, there's maybe not a big point in doing it over and over. But if
Correct,
someone's
Yeah.
cool. Huh. And now you said that the Helltide's not changing color, but there are some changes to Helltide with Duriel's presence, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are changing up Helltide. Duriel's taking it over, right? So all the monsters are getting replaced. You're going to see zombies. You're going to see
Oh,
maggots,
wow,
dregs,
yeah.
flies, all these different things.
All the
the
decay
little
and
pop-up
death
events are going to
type
be
of
different. Theme
enemies.
with Duriel. He will replace the Blood Maiden. So instead of trading in your hearts and she shows up, we've been killing her for like 7 seasons straight. I think she needs
That's
a break.
cool. I like that.
Duriel will pop up, and he's substantially more difficult. It'll certainly be a challenge to kill him, and it'll be a sort of fresh take on it. It will still be Helltide at its core, but it will definitely feel different with a lot more interesting challenges to it.
And then you hinted at this with the materials for summoning the world boss, but there's going to be purpose to going into these different activities, and I think that takes us to the divine gifts.
All right, what's divine gifts?
The whole lore around this season is Hadriel, the angel from Diablo 2. If you don't remember Hadriel, angels are freaking awesome, so we wanted to bring angels back as much as we can in a season. So Hadriel, who I always love from Diablo 2, he sits outside Chaos Sanctuary. He only says like 3 lines, but I was like, man, that guy's badass, just sitting outside of hell. So he's shown up, and he's been tracking Azmodan, and he has seen that the lesser evils are invading, and he wants to help. Unfortunately, that is not allowed by Imperius, and that we're trying to keep the balance. They vowed not to interfere with the goings-on of man, and he's going to try to break that. So in exchange for, he's basically putting a bounty on the lesser evils. So in exchange for you going and killing them, he's going to provide you divine gifts, and these divine gifts are sort of passive boosts to the rewards of the activities you take part in. And there's 2 levels. There's Purified, that will increase your rewards as well as provide you a sort of passive bonus to some of your stats or the rewards that you get. And then there's Corrupted effects, and these are
all right. So it feels like this is basically just another power system. We'll see, but I'm kind of over the whole passive power systems for the seasons, but we'll see what they look like.
For our more seasoned players, the players who want that hardened difficulty, this is sort of opt-in difficulty for different activities. So let's say I slot in a Corrupted Essence, I slot in a Divine Gift of Hadriel from, let's say, Belial, and I slot that into the Corrupted slot. The pit is now just harder. There are going to be effects that are topical to the pit, topical to Belial.
Okay, now I do like that. That's interesting. You know what that reminds me of? So we have a lot of people here who play roguelikes. In some roguelikes, you can, after you do certain runs, you can adjust the corruption or the taint or whatever of it to make it more difficult. Like you could do that in Slay the Spire and make your run more difficult. That kind of sounds like what this is in a way, where if you slot these things in, certain activities are going to be more difficult. And assumingly better rewards. So that's kind of cool. I like that idea.
That will pop up and make your run much harder. And this is the same for Helltide, Undercity, world bosses in general. So it allows you to make your content harder as well as boost the rewards that you get. That's cool. So our seasons player, I think, will really enjoy that, and we'll have some more easily digestible powers for those folks who are not really interested in increasing the difficulty of the content.
About a year ago, more even, I think it was season 4, we had the introduction of Profane Mind Cages, which was a self opt-in difficulty buff to make monsters just numerically harder and get some numerical buff to reward. It seems like and again, people really like that and wanted to come back. So now you're bringing it back in a way that is like 100 times more interesting, because it's not just, number bigger. It's, I think the through line of our chat today is the increase in difficulty.
Right, I got that, because it could be different activities you're wanting to focus on, right? You may want to do something that adjusts the difficulty of your nightmare dungeons or something in there. Maybe the Helltides with Duriel or whatever, like you was saying. Yeah, it could be. It depends on what you're doing, right? That I got that, because it looks like it affects different activities individually. Different things do. So,
done in interesting ways. Cool. It's not just they deal more damage, they have more life. We're getting more, whether it's the AI, whether it's affixes and such. Because I think in some
definitely
of these,
a cool idea,
these corrupted
Voltaire.
gifts,
I like it.
like you're getting more monster effects to spawn around you, or like ambushes happening on you.
Yep, 100%. And the Purified Mind Cage was a big inspiration. We saw folks love that, and we want to give avenues, again, to let the player play how they want. So they want harder stuff, and let's give it to them, but allow them to opt into that and allow it to be thematic and interesting. That's totally the way to go. And it's funny, you're talking about, like, sort of numbers go up. If we actually look at base monster damage, it's actually going down. But because of the hit
Huh.
reliability and the more intelligent things, you're just going to get hit by more things.
Wet Mog, thank you
And
for the
you're
link
the
on
better
YouTube,
you play, the
sir.
better you
Appreciate
avoid it,
that.
and that increases your survivability. So we're getting away from,
Sorry.
big spikes are the only way to kill people, and now getting surrounded or these new effects that you opt in for, that's really what's going to kill you, or this crazy bunch of affixes that happen to roll together, that's what's going to kill you. So it's a much more interesting way to increase difficulty or provide that increased pacing and flavor.
Fantastic.
Thank
so
you,
if I'm understanding
Webmog.
this right, there are going to be 4 categories of these divine gifts, one for each of the lesser evils.
Right.
And you can slot it either into the corrupted or the is it purified? No.
That's correct, yeah. So there's
Corrupted
purified
or
and
purified,
corrupted. You're going to
yeah.
have 8 perks for you to choose from, 8 gifts for you to choose from, and 8 slots. So if you wanted to, you can slot in every single one. And depending on the choice becomes, do I put that in the purified? Do I put that in the corrupted? Which effects do I want? Which rewards do I want?
Yeah.
And that becomes the fun sort of meta of the season. Is
So that's kinda
how
cool,
do I
yeah.
optimize these things to get the experience that I want?
Yeah, I like that because
And
it's
by-
not just like, okay, it's a fancy explosion that makes you do more damage. That's kind of boring, This is a little more creative. I like that.
Participating in any of
It'll actually change the way you're playing the game in certain activities.
these activities associated with that lesser evil, you're then leveling up your divine gifts in that related to that activity, right?
Yeah, that is exactly right.
Yeah.
So you will gain experience for each of these gifts by killing the lesser evil associated with it, as well as the infected monsters within that activity. So I mentioned earlier, like the illusion monster in the pit, he duplicates and you get 10 clones or whatever. Killing that monster will also level up your thing. And again, there's different flavors of that depending on the lesser evil. So Undercity will have monsters who are infected who will shoot ghosts, and if they hit you, they steal your time. In the pit, we'll have a really cool one. A monster is infected and he constantly sheds maggots, and if you kill him, the maggot
Yeah.
comes out and tries to infest you, and if he infests
Oh, my
you,
goodness.
you start shedding maggots, right? And then Azodan is a fun one. He creates this crazy fire stuff. So it'll be cool.
Only in Diablo are we shedding maggots.
Right?
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So if I really
That's
like
funny.
Helltide, that means that the more I'm playing Helltide, the more I'm leveling up my Helltide related divine gifts, and therefore
So
the
that's
more-
cool because you're leveling up that tweak to the game, that aspect of difficulty encounter or whatever, when you're doing that activity. So that's cool. The more you do, if you love doing bounties, in Helltides, the more you do the Helltides, the more you can level up that perk to really affect the difficulty and challenge of that.
more rewarding Helltide
More
becomes.
rewarding.
It is 100% correct. Yep.
Yes, that's great.
Now, these boons, do you see this as something that we're going to be swapping out based on what activity we're doing?
So you wouldn't be swapping them out. Our goal is not to have you hop swapping these things. I think that's contrary to player flow and breaks you out of
Yeah,
it.
so
And
you're
just
gonna
sucks.
have to
So our
decide.
goal is only to swap it to maximize the rewards that you want. So you find yourself, man, I really need obols, right? I'm going to just rearrange these to maximize my obol intake from Undercity, or man, I really need boss keys, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go do or layer boss keys. So I'm going to move these things around. For your truly seasons player, that's probably the only decision they're thinking about because
Right.
they know it all and they can handle that extra difficulty. But for players who are not opting into that difficulty, it becomes a decision of, okay, what reward do I want, as well as what passive stat boost or what slight buff that do I want to make my character stronger, and that's what I'll slot into the purified slots, and that's what they're engaged with that content.
So you mentioned that these boons do also come with some form of defensive or utility buff, right?
Yep, that is correct. So only if you slot them in the purified one. So it becomes a
Purified,
decision
yeah.
of, okay, which boost do I want to my character, and then which negative effect do I want to unleash?
Yeah,
because depending on which one you slot in, it's a different negative
right,
effect.
let's
Do I
go on
want
to the next
all
thing.
maggots when they hit me to steal
The
potions,
tower
or do I want?
leaderboards. Here we go. Okay, guys. I just said something about leaderboards a little while ago. So the tower / leaderboard. What is this?
Let's get right to it. I mean, so we've we're reworking defenses, monsters are getting challenging, and all this is kind of leading into now the introduction of, I guess, the most competitive activity that we've had in the game so far. The introduction of the tower. What is the tower?
What is the tower?
Yeah, so the tower is going to be an activity that basically tests your total mastery of Diablo 4. You're going to have all these new itemization changes in Season 11. There's going to be all these wonderful monster updates. And this is going to be the place you go to really test how far your character has come. You know,
is this going to be the endless dungeon that we've heard rumors of? Is that what the tower is? Because they said there's leaderboards. We'll see.
From that 0 to hero, as you were saying, Owen, and really put it to the test. So the tower is a kind of a black box of a bunch of different things that could happen, and it's going to be up to you to understand the different possibility spaces, and then utilize them to the best of your ability. So, for example, there are going to be a certain number of pylons that are going to spawn in the tower, and it's going to be up to you to decide when is the best time to use them. Because, for example, in the tower, monsters are going to follow you, so you're going to be able to kind of herd them around, and if you find a pylon that's going to give you a big buff, but maybe there's not enough monsters around it, you can be clever about that and be like, okay, I need to go round up a big group of guys and bring them back here, and then blast them, because that's going to give me a ton of progress. And there's a lot of different situations that can kind of emergently occur like that in the tower, and it's up to you to determine how you can best utilize it. And that's really where the skill expression comes in the tower. There's going to be a ton of variety, but there's also going to be quite a bit of consistency. So you'll start to see patterns emerge as you run the tower over and over and over again. And so as you continue playing through it, you're going to get better and better and better at dealing with the different situations it throws at you. And yes, it will have a leaderboard affiliated with it, so you are going to be able to show off how much better you're getting and compete against your friends and players across the world.
And then these leaderboards, is it going to be cross-platform? Is it going to be
for sure,
filtered in different ways?
Yeah, so they are going to be cross-platform. All players.
Okay, so we look at this. Tier 45, Tier 46, so there's quite a few tiers. I don't know if it's necessarily endless, but yeah, we'll see.
From across all different platforms are going to be.
I hope it's not timed, because then it just turns into another pit, right?
Represented on this unified leaderboard, but you will be able to filter.
No, not at all, D-Holt.
Platform if you'd like to see all players on PC or whatnot, and you can also filter by your friends if you want to, show off that you're the best among your friend group or whatnot.
And right now, it's entering the game as a beta feature. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the tower is something that requires a lot of rigorous iteration to reach the truest form that really gives players the ability to express that total mastery over Diablo in the sharpest way possible. And so we really want to release this as under the moniker as a beta, because we want people to go in and really give us chunky feedback about how it feels down to the minutia, so that we can continue to iterate on it season over season and turn it into the best version of itself it can possibly be, so that we can all have a lot of.
What was that failed attempt at a speed running thing they had added a while back? It didn't last. But they put that in as a beta feature. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it didn't go over very well. Well, hopefully this will be better.
Faith in the integrity that the leaderboard actually provides. And when you see someone at a certain rank, you can be like, yeah, we trust the tower, we trust the leaderboards, we know that this person deserves to be number one or whatever, because the tower has been rigorously tested and it's in its best form possible. So that's why we want to start with it as a beta, because we want to acknowledge that there's going to be some extra work we want to do, and we want to get a lot of feedback from folks on how it can become better.
And ultimately, do you see the tower as something that is really just geared for competitive players, those gunning for the top 100 or top 1,000? Or do you see this also appealing to just more, people who don't have the time to ever make it into the top 1,000?
Yeah, we totally acknowledge that, not everyone's going to be able to get into the top 100 or number one player or whatever. Right. And we want to make sure that this is a really fun activity for everyone.
I mean, look, that's always going to be the case, right? And I'm fine with that. I'm never going to be in the top 100. I don't have the time to put in. I can't play the game 8, 10, 12 hours a day, right? And that's okay. I'm not the guys and gals who can do that and they love doing it and they reach the top. That's fine. But that's one of the things I loved about Greater Rifts in Diablo 3, right? I could see myself and my progress on the leaderboard in the Greater Rift leaderboards, even if I knew I was never going to be in the top 50 or 100. My goal every league season was to try to get in the top 1,000 and try to get close to the top 500, which I've done a couple times. And that's fun, right? It's challenging myself against myself. And I can use those leaderboards can help with that. And then you don't have to be a power gamer to take advantage and appreciate that, because you can find that intrinsic competition against yourself or against your friends. And I'm fine with that. I think that's a great idea.
So at a future time, there will be, rewards affiliated with the
there
tower.
we go, and then rewards.
Really cool stuff that you can earn. We are holding off on that for now because we do want to make sure that it's in its best state possible before we start granting those to people.
That makes sense.
One thing I'd like to call out as a difference between the tower and the pit is that with the tower, we really want to encourage you to only push. Right? It's not an activity that we want you to repeat the same floor over and over like you do with the pit, because you're grinding glyph ranks or whatever. So we really want to incentivize players for just making forward progress in the tower.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what would be in the tower?
Yeah, Wet Mog. That's kind of what I've heard. I never did Torghast, but I've heard from people what you and Kakotan are saying. Wet Mog. By the way, thank you for the retweet as well. I gave you the weirdos for the like, but not the retweet. Let me take care of that. But yeah, I've heard that, and that's a shame. I'm glad they tried something different. Yes, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's like, it sounds like it was very lackluster. I hope that this is not like that.
Tower would probably be like one-time rewards, so it would be incentivizing you to be like, okay, can you now reach 60? Can you now reach 65? Whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, typically speaking, you would probably
Is there
only
a
be
level?
running
Is
the
there a
tower
cap?
to go further. Or, like if you feel like you're on the cusp of being able to get to 60, maybe you try it a few more times because you're that close.
Okay, so it's not designed as something that we're going to farm in any way.
No, it sounds like it's for like a leaderboard type thing, and you're not getting rewards from farming one level over and over again, which is good. We have enough of that stuff already.
It's going to be for the pit, and that's a big reason
Yeah,
why
the pit.
we. That's one of the big reasons.
Or
why
even like
we
just
want
farming
to separate
nightmare
out
dungeons
the
for
pit
loot,
and the
right?
tower.
I guess we can talk more about those reasons, because I know, people have been asking for leaderboards now since day one, and as soon as you guys added the pit, they're like, why can't you just put a leaderboard on the pit? Like, it's right there. So why did it take another, year and a half to get another activity just...
Good for Riker for asking these questions. I think it's a fair question, and he's not being rude about it. I think it's a fair question.
For leaderboards.
Yeah, so in the last year or so, we've seen a lot of upheaval. We were talking about this earlier, and of course, there's like tons of things that are changing in Season 11. And so the game had been changing so rapidly that we felt that those leaderboards might not actually reflect, like they would just change so constantly that it might not actually be a good representation of
I could see that. Volatile.
Player skill or, from one season to the next, it would just be so different as to kind of lose meaning. And so we feel that with Season 11, we're kind of reaching a state where we're going to have a lot more confidence going forward in having leaderboards in the game. And we have a lot of confidence in the tower as an activity that supports leaderboards exceptionally well. Whereas the pit really is taking a role as the speed farming location. And that's not necessarily a place where you would want a leaderboard. And now with the tower, because we have that, that's going to take like the full spotlight in terms of like...
There's so many things I have questions about with the tower. What's the layout going to be like? Is it randomized? Are there going to be like roguelike elements to it? It sounds like we might have some randomization to it. But she also mentioned something about eventually you'll kind of get comfortable with the patterns and what the game is throwing at you. I don't know if that means simply like the type of enemies or if the layout's going to be the same. I hope not. I hope it's not like a standard set layout.
This is where you'll be competing for a leaderboard.
Yeah,
That's cool,
to
though.
just chime in, I think the pit is very good at sort of build checking and stat checking and saying,
Yeah, it
okay,
is.
how can I optimize this build? But the tower is very good at skill checking of how good a player am I at this action RPG. So it's not just as simple as get the strongest character.
Yeah.
Jason was talking about earlier, how well can I group these monsters? How well can I strategically use these shrines? And it just unwraps a whole nother level of skill that is more interesting, at least to me, in terms of what a leaderboard means. I think it's more interesting to see it that way than it is who can use Excel to get the best and who can grind the best gear forever. You know what I mean?
Right,
So I just think Tower is going to be the pinnacle example of leaderboard activity.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
And you've hit a couple times upon the pylons and the sort of the kiting grouping monsters. These are tactics that I remember like all the top players in Diablo 3 talking about with Greater Rift pushing for their leaderboard positions. Was the tower inspired by Diablo 3 pit pushing? Were there any lessons learned from Diablo 3's leaderboards that you wanted to, either any mistakes you don't want to repeat in D4 or anything carried over there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you get in and try it out yourself, you will definitely see that the tower was heavily inspired by Greater Rifts. It was an excellent system. And it's something we wanted to take and iterate on because we know people loved it, we loved it, but we did feel like there was room for improvement. I think a good example is the concept of fishing, like fishing for the right, pylons to find or the right monster families
So it does sound like it's going to be randomized. If what she's saying is talking about fishing for the right pylons or monster packs, so there is going to be some randomization.
The floor or whatever. We've taken a lot of pains to make fishing less important, but we haven't gone so far as to remove it entirely, because we actually found that when we removed fishing entirely, people kind of hated it because they wanted to have some degree of variety. Like if you totally take out RNG from an ARPG, it kind of kills off one of the core things to what we find to be the spirit of what makes ARPGs. And so there's still a degree of randomness, but again, going back to the concept of like really what we want to embody in the tower is when RNG occurs, you have a way to control it. You have a way to manipulate it in your favor, and that is a huge like guiding light that we took to heart when we were making the tower. Anytime RNG could happen, we want the player to have an answer to it. We want the player to be able to look at what occurred and respond accordingly, and that will improve their run. Because that kind of RNG, when you execute it really well, will reflect in the leaderboard, and it just feels really good. Because you've been playing the game for such a long time, and being able to show that off is it's exquisite.
Yeah.
Will there be a cost to opening the tower or to closing it after like 10 seconds, like poking your head in and fishing? Is there like any system to try to dissuade fishing or...
No, there's no cost to the tower, and there's nothing to try and dissuade you from poking your head in.
No
but the
cost.
thing is that you don't actually see everything that is going to occur in that tower run immediately. Like different floors are going to have different monster groups. You don't know exactly when these 3 different pylons are going to spawn, so you're not actually going to have the knowledge you need to like effectively judge a run. And so you can't exactly just walk in and be like, what's around me? Oh, I'm out, because now I know everything about what's going to happen, and this isn't a good run. You are going to need to push further in, and you'll see things emerge as they come, and then you'll need to respond to it.
So the pit is limited to 2 floors. Is the tower limited to more than 2, or is there any limit?
Yeah, the tower has 5 floors, and that is a part of the kind of skill expression that we want people to be able to experience in the tower. We want you to be able to skip a certain amount of content in the tower. Like for example, if you do run into a floor where there's maybe like an unfavorable combination of monsters or whatever that you don't feel your build is really super good at dealing with, yeah, you can probably run through that. But you can only skip a certain amount of stuff in the tower, and that's actually why we've explicitly set it to 5 floors. Is we do want to kind of like force you to accept conditions at a certain point, so you have some space to be like, let's re-roll this, let's like re-roll that or whatnot. But you can't do that infinitely. You can't just keep going until you find something that you can just like blast instantaneously and get all your progress. And as to the pit being 2 floors, that's something that we're open to potentially changing. We didn't want to make like super fundamental changes to the pit right off the bat based on the tower, because it is a beta. And we acknowledge that, you know, it's something that people like, we want to hear people's feedback about. And if it's, you know, if 5 floors are received super positively, or if various elements of the tower are received super positively and they could potentially be applied to the pit, that's something we're going to be taking a look at for sure.
All right, then another big change coming is season ranks replacing the season journey, right? We're reintroducing capstone dungeons, which I always thought they were a cool feature, and I was kind of sad. It's like, oh, like this is the cool content, and now I can't play it anymore. So they're being brought back. More are being brought back. Some are going to be seasonal content that rotates every season, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So I guess, do you want to go over more details about exactly what this change means to the day-to-day of play?
So they're bringing capstone dungeons back? Interesting.
There's in the start of a new season.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the biggest 2 things you'll notice is, you already said the first one, which is capstones, which is awesome. I'm super excited for capstones to come back as well. You know, the cool vibes that you got from capstones before are going to be there again, in the sense that it's going to be a really cool milestone for you to experience and kind of test your build season over season. You know, you might be able to beat the first capstone at level 30 in season 11. Maybe you can beat it at level 20 in season 12 if you do something like crazy and your build is super powerful earlier or whatnot. So you can kind of reflect on how you're getting better at the game season over season, which is cool. The other thing is that previously in the season
Torment 1 Capstone Dungeon Unseen Awakening
journey, you needed to complete X out of Y objectives in any given chapter, and that's how you advanced to the next chapter. That is no longer the case in the season rank system. You have to complete the capstone objective, which for the first 5 ranks are fully fledged capstone dungeons that you have to crawl through.
All right.
Once you complete those capstone dungeons, or rather just the capstone objective of that rank, you now have access to all the objectives and the capstone dungeon of the next rank. And
so they're tying in capstone dungeons to the season tiers, I guess. Season, I don't know what you'd call them.
And these capstones are going to become higher and higher level as you go. They are not bound to your player level or difficulty. So for example, the first capstone dungeon, at least in PTR, is set to monster level 30.
So
you can walk into this capstone when you're level 1. If you feel like you could somehow overcome it when you're level 1, go get him, Slugger. Yeah, you will die. You'll die. But, you know, if you somehow break the game and do it at level 1 or 5 or 10 or whatever, you now have access to rank 2 and the next capstone. So if you can continue to do that at a significantly lower level than the capstone dungeon, you can continue to climb through the ranks at your own pace. And that's kind of the heart of what I'm trying to get at here, is that a huge guiding light of this change is that you can participate and experience season ranks totally at your own pace. You know, if you're like a crazy streamer that goes insanely fast, no longer do you have to go off the beaten path and do like all these different objectives to advance. You can just go from capstone to capstone to capstone and get through all of it, which is pretty sick. If you'd rather take it slow and like maybe out level it a bit and be a little more comfortable as you're going into the capstones, you can totally do that too. But yeah, so it's really just about experiencing season ranks how you'd like. And then beyond that, we're still going to have like a lot of objectives, like actually more objectives than we've previously had in the season journey. And a big part of that is because we have a lot more freedom, because you no longer have to complete X out of Y. These are bonus objectives now.
Yeah.
So we can add a lot of cool stuff that gives you, you know, little micro rewards as you're going through the game. And so if you're like a completionist and you love to just like check all the boxes, there's going to be like a dense amount of stuff for you to do in season 11 in the season rank system.
So achievement hunters, that's the tower with Fog of War. No, that was the capstone dungeon they were showing just now. The capstone dungeon is tied into season ranks, and you unlock different season objective sets by completing the previous capstone, and then it unlocks a new set of achievements and things like. So it's tied into the season rank, which is an interesting concept. Yeah, it does look cool. Those were, from what I can remember, I can tell, those were 2 new bosses too. I don't remember Dorfnast and Telsurian or whatever before, so that's cool. Let's see what they say about these new uniques, guys.
We've got as well new items, new uniques coming for every class, right?
Death's Pavane. Dance of Knives drops from enemies hit. Picking them up grants 1 charge and increases your Dance of Knives damage by 20% multiplicative for 6 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times.
I guess let's go in turn. What is each of you? What is your favorite new unique coming in season 11?
Ooh, I'll go first. I'll say
I
item called
agree.
Grave Plume. I think it's a one-handed mace, but
I think that's my biggest question going into season 11 is how good or bad will tempering and masterworking feel in practice. I think that's the big question for me.
it's for Necros, and it allows you to get 3 little golems instead of 1 big one. And I know that's silly, but I just love the idea of like 3 little golems running around and fighting for me. So I'm really excited for that one.
I mean, that sounds very familiar to Diablo 3 players, right?
Yep.
Oh man, you stole mine, Owen. I saw the
right.
Grave Bloom too, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. Suddenly
Right?
these golems go from like a gross, maggot shedding freak to these little cuties that are following me around.
Yeah, the
But
range
I
is-
would have to say the next one I would pick is the chain scourged nail. I think I said that right. For the barbarian. It's very interesting because you can kind of utilize it in a lot of different ways. You can put 1 brawling skill on your bar and then it just kind of resets over and over, or you can have like an arsenal of brawling skills and then kind of cycle through them. That's not really a playstyle I think we've seen with the barbarian before, and it really makes me think about brawling skills in like a totally different way. So I'm pretty excited to try out a piano brawling barbarian where I just slam keyboard cat slam my keys one after another and then do it again.
I think this is something we're seeing maybe from a couple of the new items is affixes that are like based on what you have on your skill bar.
Yeah, I think it allows for like a lot of really interesting approaches because it doesn't like force you or pigeonhole you into a specific way to handle it. You can go as little or as deep into it as you want, and it kind of scales to you in that way, which really kind of.
All right, they're not really saying too much about it, but all right, some interesting stuff. The tower and the leaderboards is very interesting. The tempering and masterworking is a big change. That's significant. We'll see how impactful it ends up playing out to be. I like that. I'm really curious for the tower. It could be interesting. Well, they're definitely taking some chances. They're making some significant changes. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. We are going to switch over now and get into some video gaming. We can still talk about Diablo 4 or whatever else you guys want to talk about. Chill, have a good evening together. I'll be playing some Megabunk, and we will chill and chat and discuss all the glorious things about the world of gaming. I'm going to take a quick break, get up, stretch the legs for a minute, and then we'll get back and get into the game. back, and I come bearing chocolate animal crackers. How about them apples? Chocolate animal crackers. Ooh, Serene. Serene, you are causing some shenanigans. Knocking everybody into the... Oh, my... I'm sure it was deserved. Mega bonk. All right, all right. I'm glad to be getting back into this game. I love this game. All right. I think we're going to do a run on the monkey, sorry. We need to get the thorns toned to level 9. We could play Sir Ufi, but let's start with the monkey. Yep. Alright. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we're going to try it. Get. Let's take the revolver. Yep. Yes. Oh my goodness. +2 projectile count. Let's go with that. Ouch. Lightning staff. I like the lightning staff. Holy cheese. Alright. So we actually got three of our let's go light steel. 3 of our 4 weapons early on. I like it. And there's our 4th one. Yep, going low. We got all our weapons, guys. Alright, let's go see if we can find the boss summoning. So we can know where it's at. Yep. Get him. Yep. Bow. Crit chance, crit damage. Projectile speed. That's kind of grab this. Height, okay. I can deal with that. Holy cheese again. They really want us to poison the enemies. Oh, this is new. Well, I don't remember getting this before. +1 projectile count for all weapons? Interesting. I don't... Oh my goodness, yes. Bow crit damage. Nice. Attack speed, that's good. Projectile speed, that's good. Yeah. Maybe I should have taken the damage. The damage don't. But we're probably put a shot at it. Crit chance, lifesteal. Banana upgrade. Right, yes. Ooh, epic upgrade. Nice. Swarm incoming, that's not bad. We got another legendary here. Refresh. Lightning staff, yes. Damage to leaves. Bananas. Ooh, lightning staff, yes. I guess we'll go pick up the range. Let's go get the elites. Nice. Jump height. Let's go power up. Yeah. Yes, I need. Take the key. Yep. Gloves. Projectile speed. Really, either one of these would be good. Let's go attack speed. Got it. We got enough DPS to make it happen. Wow, the Bengals took the lead, huh? That's good. Stuff. Flacco's putting on a show for his new team, huh? Wow. Alright, there we go. Damn it. Ooh, big bonk. Yep. Legendary big bonk. Hey, OSU. Good evening, buddy. How are you doing tonight? Got 6 minutes in the final. Oh, nice! I don't know if I've done that yet or not. Oh, thank you, OSU. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're feeling good. Hopefully no migraine tonight. Let's take care of your weirdos. Alright, let's see. Let's make our way across the field with these guys. I think yes, it's good enough to keep them away. Wow, yeah, I bet. Increase spawn elite. I'm not that confident in my build. Let's go pick up the lead. Ah! Missed that guy. Didn't get it. All right, Vorshin, have a good night, buddy. You have a good day tomorrow. We'll see you later. And we get most of the shoes, which is fine. I like it. careful here. We're taking some damage. Ooh, yes. That's good. Blood mark. Interesting. Okay. Trying to find. Ah, there it is. Yep. I'm in no way, shape, or form ready to fight the boss yet, but we kind of need to. Soon. There we go. Just go crazy. Oh boy! Oh man! It happens so quick. Oh man, they just get you so quick. New record though. Ha! Alright. Let's see. Yeah. It came from behind. We're gonna go monkey again. Let's go. Let's take the banana ring upgrade here. Shield tone might be good, actually. Let's take that. Maybe I should focus a little bit on some defensive stuff. I mean, yeah, we need the offense, but that's good. Tactical glasses. That was uncalled for. Chip sauce. Oh man, and isn't it though, DJ? And it just it escalates so quickly, doesn't it? Yeah, epic shield chunk upgrade. Yeah, they do. Oh my goodness, this place. upgrades. We'll take that. Luck. That's one luck. That's going to help us potentially get upgrades. I wonder if that would be a good strategy, just stacking as much luck as you can. Bring out that line. Awesome. I don't know what Rocket. Rocket's good. Ooh, there we go. Get out of there. Thank you. Crit chance. Oh, there. Fine, shit. All this stuff. Sure. That. I guess. That was a nice stuff. Ah, there's our. Awesome. Right here, brand new quarters here, folks. Ow. Oh boy. Yep. Fire snap. Parky. Oh my word! Bad. Might die right here. Ah! Ha ha ha! It is relentless, I tell you. Oh, there it is. There. Where is my way out? We migrated so far away from it. All right. See you on around. Yep. And there's taxi. Probably come back to that attack. Will. Ah, there's our boss. So I'll remember that. Movement speed is not not there. Okay, do that. Taxi. On. All right. Chance. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. See what I mean? It just happened so quick. Can't get up there and get that. Luckily I survived, but that would have been bad. Yeah. My got it. Don't quite have the damn. This is where they get you, man. This is where they get you. Yeah. I mean, the light leech helps a little bit, but you make a bit too much. Oh my goodness! Go over here and grab all this. Oh, we got. Yeah, that's kind of good. Oh my gosh, they got me. That was bad. That was bad. New record, top 87.8%. All right, let's let's see. Yeah, we can't unlock anything yet. Alright, do we want to do another run on the monk, or do we want to do another run on, somebody else? We'll think about it. I'm going to take a quick break, get up and stretch legs for a few minutes, and I will bring up some fishing for you guys. And we'll be back momentarily. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. Now, I wonder, okay, we were trying to decide if we wanted to do another run with the monkey dude. Clank's pretty fun. Fox. Let's go back with monkey. I kind of like the monkey. I don't know. Oh, you know what we should check before we do this? Shop. There's gotta be a way to open up more tomes, but I don't know how. Let's do this. Let's increase our gold. Our silver accrual. Seems kind of counterintuitive, using silver to increase the rate at which we earn silver, but I'm sure it's going to pay off in the long run. So, all right, let's go. Let's go. Sitting clover. I guess I don't have enough damage right now to do. Let's do fire staff. Holy cheese. Yep, fire staff. Oh, let's go get this. Yep. Oh, we got a chest over there we can get to. Credit card. Increase luck by 2% when opening a chest. That's kind of cool. Homing rockets. Yep. Yep, that. Crit chance. Let's take the ball. Alright, now we've got all 4 weapons. Let's start. What hit me? But it was bad. We got our health back. Armor tone. Let's take armor tone. There we go. Break that down. Yeah, let's take the hit. Revolver! Yes, thank you for the armor. Although it's not going to help me if I'm smacked around by a bazillion. Man, armor tone, that was kind of a bad spot to BH. Oh boy. Life steal. Let's take that. Fire snap. Get. Alright, alright. We've got a chance to make this bang. Let's see. To do better this time around, maybe. Alright, let's go. First things first, let's try to find the, this. Chance. These things. Alright. Very good. Now let's get some chests. Alright. Get out of that. Okay, there's the boss. We're not ready for it. Not killing anything. We have no deeps. Ah, you gotta wait, see. Boy. Oh yeah, we're done. Maybe. Oh, can I get over there and get that run speed? Maybe. I can kite a little bit, maybe. Run speed does seem to help. I'll say that. Got it temporary. Ah, I couldn't get the... Staying alive, but we're not doing any. Oh, hello. That's good. That's good. Oh my goodness, I can't even get to the... Holy cow! That was probably a mistake. The life leech is really keeping me going here. I haven't done hardly any damage to the... Oh, we got a swarm coming, sure. Because why not, right? Why not? Yeah, we're done. Talking about that red stuff? No, that's the enemy throwing. That's like your equivalent of like the red stuff on the ground in WoW and raids. That's telling me to try to stay away from that, but I'm having a hard time doing it. He's trying to hit me with these big slams on the ground. See the spikes coming up with after they hit. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're in trouble. Chad Bart. Yeah, I know it's hard to tell at first because it does look like it's coming from me after I pass by. Yeah, but if you watch it for a second, you'll see the spikes. Yeah, but yeah, it does look kind of weird. I agree. Bet I can't keep my my run speed all the time. can't even do enough damage. That's insane. That's insane. Look at all those enemies. Final swarm incoming. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. We're just dead. Now we'll earn more silver if we stay alive longer than the final swarm.
Flawless victory.
Oh my goodness. I know, right, Trading? It's just silly. They just pile up on top of each other, man. I can't even see. I mean, look at my health ping-ponging because of the light leaves. That's just... oh my god. That was so silly. How much silver did we get there? Let's see. Oh, almost top 2/3 of players. Well, we got 24 silver and 2 unlocks. Oh wow, yeah. The DJ was just talking about that. He said he almost got it as well. That's pretty cool, man. Oh yeah. Quests. Yeah. Complete 100 quests, kill 5,000 enemies with the rocket, 15,000 enemies as ogre. That one, we could play it. We could play it and do a run as the ogre, I guess. I don't know how to get more tome slots. We got all our weapon slots unlocked. Alright, let's play as the ogre. See what we can do. I am. That's kind of. He can be mistaken for Shrek, I guess. Yeah. Axe, projectiles. We didn't have that many XP to pick up. So. Ah, 35 completed quests. I've got to be close to that. Thank you, Tridey. That's good to know. Yeah, no worries. I know I've got the 4th quest. I mean weapon. I need. Okay, so that's. I just need to get more quests, which is good. I'm working on one right now by killing more enemies. Yeah, life steal. Thank you. Thank you. Boy. Oh my gosh. Tell me about it, Tridine. I know the feeling, man. I get so much. I have such bad long-term memory. Yeah, let's take a banana. Sure. How about a banana? No, not taking on the bush, dude. Alright, that's gonna be pretty good. More damage to enemies close. Oh, we got it. Life steal. Where's my life steal? Refresh. Let's go. Bloody okay, yeah, let's get out of there. Hey, boss Beer. Sure, we'll give him 5% hit points for the damage. Oh my goodness, bad shape here. Good. Clear out this swarm a little bit, then we're gonna go take on the ball. Projectile speed. Yep, there we go. Need a chest. Fire staff, get projectile. bark down here, dude. Nice. That worked out. Sure. Good stuff. Magnet, we need the chest. Grab that. Yep. Go. These guys out. See, that shows you how bad my DPS is right now. Barely clear these guys. Oh my goodness. See, you get caught for a split second and you're done. Well, we got a bunch of kills, though, for the ogre. That's what we were trying to do. Got some more silver. Yeah, the bow is doing the most. I mean, everything was pretty solid except for the axe. I don't think we had many upgrades for the axe, though. So that's part of it. Yeah, we're almost halfway there. That. Well, I've unlocked 54 quests. Maybe it's 50. Oh, there we go. Tome slot 2. 55 quests. I need to do one more quest to do another tome slot unlock. Okay, that's good. We'll keep working on with the ogre then. Yeah. Yep. Let's go. I don't like these axes. Yep, rockets. That's we get something for killing certain predators with rockets. Ooh, lightning staff. Yeah, we hadn't had that one in a bit. Lightning staff. Good night, Kakutan. You got to work in the morning, buddy? Well, sleep good either way. Oh, yeah, those. That's gonna be a good time for that. It's time to lay down. I hear that, man. Especially when your body's used to going to bed early. I get it. Have a good night, man. that. Oh, crit chance. Big time crit chance. That's good. Be helpful. Grab this. Oops. That's good, yeah. We got the big guy down. Pick up range. Yeah, why not? Alright, taking our way through the boss area. Projectile bounce. Yeah, this is not going to end up well. Alright. Okay, it doesn't like I like I got it. They're all kind of bleed together. There we go. Back speed. Thank you. Yes. Great luck, I guess. We got a minute and a half until next. Yeah, never mind. Not gonna last that long. Oh my goodness. Shenanigans. Alright, I want to see, we got quite a few more kills. We're gonna keep running as the ogre though, because yeah. That, try to get the cannon. Yeah. All right, buddy. Let's go this way. Checked out, count, that's a good start. Oh yeah, there we go. Refresh. Oh, that's good. Active increase on damage. The Shrine of Sun. Yep, we need the rocket. We need to kill the rocket. Part of the reason why we're what we're working on. That. Yeah, he really needs to Okay, so there's some goodness in here. All these, really. Let's take the crit chance. +1 chance to proc effects. Okay. Shove come. Nice. Down pretty good. We're gonna go with the rocket. Increase damage from bosses. Yeah. That's What happened? Did I miss something? Oh, wow, 100 weirdos. Nice. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. That's how you get to stay number 2 on the leaderboard, huh, DJ? Invasion. I don't remember if I've actually beaten the boss. Yep. we go. The vibes are off. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it, buddy. Damage. Yeah, let's take this damage. Crit chance would be good too. Wow, what a game! I know GeoBear's got to be thrilled about that, and Marks. Marks is a big Steelers fan too. Sounds like a great game. Not going to pick up that thing right there. That's not going Oh yeah, 2 minutes. I mean, my goodness, that's an eternity for an NFL quarterback. Make something happen. There we go. Got it. Yep, that's good. We need that. Cursed doll. Hold up. That's uncalled for. I don't have life steal. I don't think. How'd you do that? Had to do that. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's silly. He has 29 come from behind wins in his career. Man, he's a veteran. He's been playing for a while. Okay, let's see what that put us at. We need another 1,700, less than 1,700 for the cannon kills. Yeah. What other? Okay, hang on. I want to see something here. Do we have any other that we're close to getting done? Upgrade axe to level 10. That's gonna. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. Beat the stage boss in under 5 minutes. I wonder if I could do that on one. Let's try it. No, it's gotta be. I think I need one more quest done. I think it's gotta be 55 quests. I think. I'll verify that after this run. Take the bow. Righty. What do you know about that, buddy? Crit damage, thorns. Let's take the luck. I could use. I haven't even found the stage boss, and I'm not strong enough to really beat him right now anyway, I don't think. We'll see, maybe. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Let's take the banana break now. Yeah.
You never see it.
Aha, there you go. Yes. That moldy cheese, that one's pretty regular. Let's refresh. We'll take the fire staff. Yeah. Tactical glasses. Pick up. I found it. But I don't think I'm. Oh, gotta get this Sparky guy down. ASAP. Here comes. Yep, this will be a challenge. Next time, cancel that Hey, we did it! Alright, now we unlock the next tome slot. Yep. Thank you, sir. Fire staff. The big guys. Yeah. Man, 1 minute. I got a lot of work to do to beat that 6-minute mark. That's some shenanigans. Tier 1 complete. Oh, I must not have done tier 1 with him before. I guess. Alright, so now we got... Hold up. We got this. 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 Unlocks. Alright, let's see. We want Curse Tome. What does that give us? Let's see. Plus difficulty. Difficulty increases enemy quantity, health, speed, and strength. Only gamers pick this one. Alright. We're going to uncheck that one for now. Yeah, okay. What else? What else? Hang on. So... Oh, yeah. We can unlock this now. Oh my goodness, we need more silver. There you go. Oh, wow. The Bengals took the lead with a field goal, huh? That's crazy talk there. What a game. Man, two veteran good quarterbacks, too. Aaron Rodgers and Flacco going at it. Now, I mean, Flacco doesn't quite have the decorated career that Aaron Rodgers does, but still, he's had a good career. Man. All right, guys, we're gonna have to end it right there. I've got an early start in the morning. Appreciate you all coming and hanging out. We're gonna be back on Monday. Ready to go again. They could have had a TD, but the veteran wide receiver slid it to 5. Oh no, are you serious? Voltan. Voltan's like, we got to do it. He says, dang. No, that was a good try, though. That was a good try, I admit. Oh, my goodness. Guys, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back Monday. I'll actually try to start a little early on Monday. Yeah, I need to make up some time for you guys. So, be on the lookout. I'll try to start a little early on Monday. I'll post in Discord, of course, when we start. So, thank you, Wetmog. Appreciate it. Same to you, buddy. Have a good night. A PTR. Yeah, I'm thinking so, Voltan. I want to dive into it and kind of explore it and see. So we'll probably have some fun with that next week, and see what it's all about and kind of get a feel for it. You know, that'll be good. Yep. So, all right, guys. See you Monday. And of course, as always, if you can be anything, be kind. Good night.